If you clicked on this video, it means that one of your goals for 2025 is to build a personal brand. So in this video, I'm going to share with you one, what a personal brand is, two, the importance of having a personal brand, and three, five strategies on how you can build a personal brand in 2025 so that you don't have to keep rebranding and reinventing yourself every year. Okay? And if you see me for the first time, my name is Jessica Fortune. I am your marketing bestie. On my channel, I share tips about marketing and media. I do a little bit of analysis and case studies on marketing and brands. And lastly, I also share my lifestyle as a marketing professional working in 9 to 5 in Lagos, Nigeria. So if you're not subscribed already, hit the subscribe button because you're going to enjoy it here. Yes, yes, you are. Okay, all right. Let's go straight into the meat of today's video. There are a lot of definitions of branding, of brand, but my favorite and how I like to define a brand is to say differentiation. It is like something that makes you unique. A brand is like just differentiation. What makes you different from every other person? Like, what is that thing that just makes you stand out? That's what it is. That's it as a brand. For me, that's a differentiation. It's what makes this person different from the other person. It's why one person sees me and they see you and they can tell, okay, this person is this person's like this. Differentiation. That's a brand. So a brand has like a distinct identifier that makes them different from the other person. And so branding is intentionally creating that identity in such a way that it differs from the other person. So when you're branding, you're intentionally shaping the perception of what people think when they think about you. You're shaping the assumptions, you're shaping the perceptions, like you're shaping it, you're creating it in such a way that when two different people see you or three different people see you, they all say the same thing about you. And they think to themselves, oh, it's because I know her very well, I know him very well. And that's true. But it's also the fact that you have created it so that they're all getting the same thing. And so like it's positive because what happens is when you have a great brand loyalty. People like you, people want to be with you, they want to associate with you. Also, there's a perceived value where people feel like, this person must know what they're talking about. The way she talks, the way he talks, she must be a guru. This person has value, this person is valuable, is a good person to have. There's an increased perception of value. People like they value you because you stand out. When you go somewhere and people see you, they feel like, this person is different. Every other person is probably wearing flat shoes, but you go there and you're wearing like high heels. I feel like, who's that girl? Who's that boy? Every other person goes out and they're wearing nude lipsticks, but you come out and you put on red. It's like, you know, different little things that tells people that this person is different. It helps you stand out and also increases your earnings because when people feel like, this person is valuable, then they're willing to pay you more. And I'm sure that in 2025, we're all trying to get the bag. I'm trying to get the bag. So it means that you need to focus on building a good and great and excellent personal brand. That's why today's video is very important. And I'd like to mention some of your favorite people who have really good personal brands. As somebody who read a lot or who reads a lot, in my undergrad, I read a lot of books by Wole Soyinka and Chinua Achebe. And the truth is, every time I read one person's book, I enjoyed it. It was easy to read. The words were simple. When I read the other guy's book, oh, I will carry dictionary. Both of them are authors, but if you know, you know. If you know, you know. If you've read their books, you know who I'm talking about. That's a personal brand. I didn't need to say much, but you already know who it is. So it means that they have good personal brands. And because of this, their personal brands, people think about them in high esteem. When you talk about women, you think about Chinua Achebe, the way she comes out. When you read her books, you know she's the one. When you see a quote by Chinua Achebe, you know. Sorry, by Chimamanda Adichie. Yeah, I was going to say women, sorry. when you read a quote by Chinua when you read a quote by Chimamanda Adichie, you can tell the difference from when you read a quote by Beyonce, right? These are personal brands, great women, but they speak differently, they show up differently. And because of this, you're able to say this person is this person, this is this person. So that differentiation, that distinct identity that makes them different from the other person, that's what branding is about. And it's very important, like I've said again, because brand loyalty increases your value and you're able to earn more money. Okay? So let's go into how you can build a great personal brand in 2025. The first thing you need to do is you need to do an assessment. Yes, we need to tell ourselves the truth. Where are we? right? So where are you right now in your journey? Where are you? What are your experiences? What are the things that you have? What's your personality? You need to assess yourself. You need to know what are your weaknesses, what are your strengths, what are the opportunities, what are the threats to you. Like you need to sit down and analyze it. You need to, there's something we call SWOT analysis. So you need to do that as a personal person. Remember, we're talking about branding from a personal angle, and personal mean you as an individual, right? So the same way you would do an analysis for a brand you're working on or an organization and trying to understand what the strengths and weaknesses is or are, you need to do the same for yourself as an individual. What are your strengths? What are the things that are your weaknesses? What are your, again, opportunities and threats? So when you do this, you find out the things that make you tick, that make you special, things that you can build on. When you find out what your strengths are, your weaknesses, you find out, okay, these are places I need to work on, I need to adjust, I need to do this here. And what are the opportunities? You know, when you do the assessment, you find out about yourself. And sometimes what we call this is self-awareness. When you know yourself well enough, you're able to make some tweaks here and there. And when you know yourself, you're also able to portray yourself better to the people that you want to. And while you're doing this, the next thing you need to do is you need to think about, okay, I'm currently here. This is where I am. These are the things that I have. But where do I want to be? Now you're going into your vision, right? You're thinking about, okay, I'm currently here, but where do I want to be? What's the vision? When people talk about me, what do I want them to say about me? Do I want them to say, oh my gosh, she's very fashionable? Do I want them to say, oh my God, her makeup is bam? Do I want them to say, oh my gosh, she's so meek and humble? Oh my gosh, she's so feminine. Oh my God, he's so brilliant. He's so smart. Oh my God, he travels a lot. Oh my God, he wears the red heart. Oh my God, he has white hair. You know, whatever it is, what do you want people to say? You want people to say, oh my God, she's giving rich auntie. Oh my God, he's giving bad boy. What do you want people to say? You think about it. When you think about what you want people to say, then you start to build, right? So based on what you've decided, and I should mention that you need to do this authentically. You need to be authentic. You need to be original. We don't want to be copying. I mean, we could take inspirations from here and there. One thing I like to do is I like to look at people who are already where I want to be. So I want to be this. There's somebody who's probably there. So I look at them and I try to see, okay, this is how they're doing their own. Now, based on my personalities, this is how I'm going to do my own, right? So this I'm going to craft my own message. This I'm going to do this. So you want to find out what your strengths are and all of that, and then find out what your vision is. Find people who are probably there, pick a few things from them, but still be original. Because again, one thing you need to know about personal brand is it also ties into your personality, what comes naturally to you. The best brands are those who actually work on their strengths. So you're a good writer, okay, you write, then you take it top notch, you double down on it, and you become an excellent writer in such a way that people see your writing and they know that, yes, this is this person that wrote. You get my point? So you need to find out what your strength is. You need to find out where you're trying to go to. You need to think about your personality. You need to think about your authenticity. You get what I'm talking about? You need to be authentic. You need to be original. So, well, there's a book I read that says, still like a still like an artist. Yes, that's it. Still like an artist. So basically, do that. So once you've done this, once you know your vision, where you're trying to get to, and once you've also aligned this with your personality, I think another thing you need to do is, what do you stand for? You need to know what you stand for. What are your beliefs? What are your values? What are your non-negotiables? What are the things that this one, no, I will not do it. This one, I can't do it. What are the things? Yes, you know, this ties back into what your vision and what you want people to say about you. So sometimes you can say to yourself, I want to be a kind person, right? I want people to think about me, and I want people to think about me as great reputation. I do a good job. I bring my whole self to work. What do you want people to say? What are your values? What are your beliefs? Because these are the things that fuel your personal brand. Because if you say that, okay, I want to be somebody who is kind, then I shouldn't see you on social media insulting somebody, dragging somebody's father, dragging somebody's mother. That's no, that's like. But if you want to be disruptive, like Elon Musk, then it's like, yeah, I don't mind. I'm going to tell the truth. I'm going to be an activist. There's nothing bad with that, but just align. What do you want to do? What are your values? What are the things that you never catch me doing it? And when you do them mistakenly, you apologize, you take a step backward, and then you retrace your step and do better, right? So you need to find out what these are. Now, all of these things might seem like, oh, things that you just do simple, simple. No, you need to take your time and really think about it. You think about it, think about your personality, your values that make you who you are. things you want to build on, the things you want to emphasize, those are the things that you put forward. And then through your activities, through the places that you go through the experiences, through the people that you talk to, the associations that you make, you start to drop hints for pieces. Because if you say you want to become a writer and you tell me you don't read Chinua Achebe, you don't read Wole Soyinka, don't read. I'm really like, so what are you writing? Or you don't go for literary conferences and events. You don't like, you want to make sure that you want to make sure that whatever it is that you've aligned, that's what you want to be known for. Then you do things that are in line with it. And this is what leads to, or this is how you craft your brand message, right? Based on every other thing that I've spoken about, your values, your personality, your assessment, based on everything, you now craft your messaging. You craft your message. Okay, this is how I'm going to do this is how I'm going to dress. Because the person that I want to be like, the human being I'm seeing in the future, how I want people to perceive me is a well-dressed person. I want people to see me and they see that I'm Gen Z. I want people to see me and they know that I'm professional. So it means you dress that way. It means you speak that way. It means you go to places where people like you are. It means that you associate with certain people. I'll tell you a story. Once upon a time, I realized that somebody I knew personally did not used to interact with me on TikTok, sorry, on Twitter. And I would feel like I would reply to her messages on Twitter. I would comment, I would quote. And I was like, I was sad. I was like, why? But then I realized that my brand on Twitter, sincerely, I was very activist. I was very feminist, bro. Like, and she did not want to associate with that. She did not want to be known with such. Because when she spoke to me, or when we spoke about it, she's trying to build a political career for herself. And she's like, girl, I can't be involved in the things that you're involved in. I'm trying to build a business. I'm trying to be a political person. I can't put myself out like this. I can't post a bikini picture. At first, I was angry, but when I realized that this person goes, oh, this is how she wants to be, and me knowing the importance of personal branding, I'm like, okay, no wala. I unfollowed her on Twitter so that I will not be angry, so that I will not see her post. And we moved on, and we're happily ever after. So you see, based on whatever it is that you decide, this is how you craft your messages, and the people around you eventually figure it out. Okay. So you decided what you want to be known for, you've decided your vision, you've started crafting your message, the way you write, the way you speak, the way you show up, the places you are, the people you interact with. The next thing you need to pay attention to is to make sure that you boldly walk the path that you have chosen. Boldly walk the path that you have chosen. Remember the story I just told you? She was boldly walking her path. She didn't care that, oh, we are friends, I know you in person, and you're going to spoil or stain my white. No. She's like, I'm sorry, girl, you cannot stain my white. So you need to boldly walk the path that you've chosen. Because you cannot say this is how I want people to know me, and then you go online and do something that's contrary to what you said. No, now there's going to be a problem. That's why you're going to, okay, next thing I'm going to rebrand. You see what I'm talking about? You see what I'm saying? You need to boldly, and I say boldly because it takes a lot of effort. Because sometimes you're like, this part I'm working. There are not a lot of people working on it too. Or this part I'm working. It's not giving me the views. Oh, maybe if I twerk, I will get more views. This part I'm working, is it going to pay? This part I'm working, it's only me that is here. Oh, you're scared. There's fear. But that's it. It's a journey that you have crafted for yourself where you've decided you're going. So you need to make sure that you stick to it. If you don't stick to it, then everything you've done in like up until this moment just becomes nothing that you can think about. So you need to boldly, whatever it is you've decided on. That's why it's important that it is based on your beliefs, your values, and your personality that you craft all these things that you want to be. Right? It is based on who you are, and that's why authenticity, 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 you get what I mean? Okay, originality, exactly. That's where it comes in. Because when you're true to yourself, true to who you are, your personalities, your values, your beliefs, then it's easier to walk the path that you decide on. Okay. And the very last thing is you need to strive for credibility and excellence, right? You need to make sure that when this brand that you're building is an excellent one in terms of the work that you do, when people see you, they're like, it's excellent, it's credible. Because there are brands out there that are not credible. And remember, we want to build a great brand. We want to build a brand that has increased value. We want to build a brand that can help us earn more. We want to build a brand where we stand out, but we stand out positively. We want to build a brand like brand loyalty. So based on that, you need to know that your brand needs to be excellent. Like when people talk about you, it's in the positive light. You don't want bad press. You don't want people to stay in your light. So you need to make sure that it's excellent. And that's what I mean by you need to like, what's the word I'm looking for now? Okay, credibility, right? You need to be credible. Your brand has to stand for something that is valuable, for something that is impeccable, that people know that yes, this person, if I call her by this time, she's going to answer, she's going to do this, her work is great. Like, and give her 10 over 10, like credibility. Because if not, if you build a brand that is below par, like you're working a pattern is below par, it's not valuable, people, because the truth is, let me tell you, let me say something, right? The truth is, there are different type of brands. There are brands that are, there's some people you think about and you know them for trouble. You know them that they're fighting on Twitter, on Instagram. That's their brand. And that's a brand. But the truth is, that type of brand will not give you the value that you're looking for. It will not give you the money you're looking for. And no shades, right? When I think about Portable and I think about Whiskey, can see that. No shades, oh. I don't know if he intentionally built that brand for himself, but based on the value and excellence and credibility of both brands, you can see how they are. You can see the positioning. You can see the amount of money they command. This is based on branding. So you need to be intentional about the type of brand you're building. It's a brand that's excellent, that's credible, so that you can earn value from it or make money from it, so that it can be valuable, so that it can be worth something. Because if you build a brand that's not worth anything, that's another problem. People, your brand is not going to be worth much, but that's not what we want. We want a brand that is worth something. Okay. All right. That's enough for today. I hope that you've learned a thing or two. I believe that you have. And so make sure that you apply this in 2025. And I know that if you do this, there'll be no need for you to rebrand again in the next year. What you need to do is to reinforce what you already started building. Okay. And remember, this is something that takes time. You keep building, you keep building, you keep improving. Like it takes time. You're not going to build that brand and get to that place in 1 year, immediately in 6 months, in 5 months. It's going to take time. But when you consistently build on it, when you consistently build on it, when you consistently build and you constantly like be consistent every day, do it. Every day, do it. People, the same thing you say here today, the same thing you say tomorrow, the same thing you say yes, like it's the same thing everywhere, everybody. Eventually you wake up one day and say, everybody is saying the same thing about you. Everybody's saying the same thing about you because you have consistently done the same thing. Like you've consistently built on that brand. And it takes time. And building a great brand takes like it takes time. But also I think it's important to mention that you need to be careful even as you build your brand. Like you will make mistakes, you might fall short every now and then. Make sure that when you do, you learn from it and you pick up yourself and you continue, right? Okay. And even as you build your brand, you need to make sure that you avoid certain things so that you don't fall in certain ditches, because it takes time to build a brand, but guess what? It doesn't take time to destroy the brand. Oh, it doesn't take time at all to destroy a brand. So you need to make sure, even as you're building your brand, you're careful, especially you're taking your time. Just taking your time to build it. And anything that's trying to punch your brand away, you say, no, 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 don't do that. You avoid it. Okay, all right. I'm being dramatic now, but I hope you get the point. And until next time, I remain Jessica Fortunes, your marketing bestie. Okay, bye.